Hey there, Wes and Cindy Dove here, fresh off of the 2025 Leadership Legacy experience, the first year that we've done something outside of the scope of the Live to Lead Harrisonburg experience that we've done since 2015. Had a fantastic day. We were blessed to have hundreds of leaders in the room with us from more than 125 organizations across at least 6 states. I think it might have been 7, but I know it was at least 6. And it was just a fantastic experience. It was about 24 different businesses, organizations had trade show booths set up. We saw some amazing interaction throughout that. A wonderful experience with Mark Cole in the VIP session, but also in the wrap-up keynote. We had 15 absolutely amazing panelists throughout the 3 different panels throughout the day. Couldn't speak enough about it. But what we're here to do today is do a drawing for the folks that shared different pictures throughout the day. Years ago, we started a photo contest with the Live to Lead Harrisonburg experience to where folks, if they shared and tagged us on social media so we could keep track of it, we would do a drawing for a prize. So we're going to do 3. We announced 1, but since we've had such great participation, we're going to do 3 drawings. Before I do that, I want to give Cindy the chance to share a little bit about what her takeaways were or anything that she wants to share about the event. And then we'll talk about the prizes we're going to do, and then we'll work through the 3 drawings we want to pull and announce some winners.
Well, one thing I'll add, Wes, is a tremendous shout out to not only our partners, which Wes mentioned there some, but also the incredible volunteers that helped us at the event. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to run a smooth show. You know, after every event, we come out with things that we can do even better. But thanks to our volunteers, we were able to have an incredibly good event that went smooth, and we're loving all the feedback from it, even the things we can improve. So we like that feedback too. As far as my takeaways, intentional action is incredibly powerful. There's really, as long as you're being consistent and intentionally taking action, getting out of your comfort zone, that will take you to your purpose. You know, a lot of individuals, as we're training and coaching, ask us about their purpose, and they're not sure they found it, or they're seeking it out, and they're really maybe losing sight of it, or wanting to make sure they're in their purpose. And that piece of taking intentional action will absolutely get you there. So I'll stop there and hand it back to you, Wes.
Yeah, so we're going to do a couple of drawings. And I told Cindy this just before we went live. And she's like, well, why'd you even bother telling me? Because I said something and this and that. And I just didn't give her any detail. And for those of you that know me, you know that's what I do. And if you know Cindy, you also know that it freaks her out when I don't give her any detail. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw 3. The second runner-up is going to get lifetime access to the digital game plan for the 2025 Leadership Legacy experience, as well as a copy, an additional copy of the Leading with Clear Purpose book, the commemorative edition, as well as the game plan, the workbook that we had for the participants throughout the event. So they might want to gift that, they might want to have an extra, whatever that is, but that's what the second runner-up is going to be. If you buy that retail, we've got that on our site and so on and so forth. And I put that link in the comments for the Leadership Legacy experience, the 2025 event. I think it's priced at $147. It's now got north of 40 hours worth of content just from interviews with our partners and the executive panelists. We knew we couldn't put enough focus on the 15 executive panelists in the 3 45-minute sessions. So we did interviews with each one that they're average about 30 minutes each, but we've also been able to interview several of the Harrisonburg Professional Firefighter Foundation board members. We've been able to interview more than 20, I think about 24 as it stands right now, of our partners. We had 50 total partners, about 24 of them we've done interviews with. So they're all in there. And it's some fantastic insight on leaders from all these organizations on how they're working to achieve their own clear purpose. As we get them back from Appeal Production, we'll also be including all of the sessions, the opening keynote that Cindy and I did, the panel discussions that were throughout the day, Mark Cole's VIP session, and Mark Cole's Mark Cole's wrap-up keynote. Those 2, though, contractually, they're only going to be available through December 13th, but it's going to be so powerful. There's going to be, I'm going to say, probably about 50 hours worth of content in this course moving forward. So with that said, I'm going to pull on screen the famous wheel of names that Cindy and I have been able to use at the Live to Lead experiences over the years. So we're going to click it and pick who wins the digital game plan.
Here we go.
And that is Charles Hendricks with the Games Group. So, Charles, I'm going to be reaching out to you. I know through your VIP registration, you already have that. So, I'm going to be reaching out to you directly and talking with you about, do you want that for somebody on your team? Or is there something else that we can swap out that's equal or even greater value that we can take care of you in the process? So, Charles, that's the one we've got for you. We'll chat in person soon. And I'll give Charles a shout out real quick, because Charles worked with us as I'm talking with him about the event, telling him about the workbook. He says, well, have you ever considered doing a flip book? And I said, Charles, I don't even know what that is. He says, well, send me the PDF that you use to create your workbook. And I'll shout out to BR Printers in this process too, because they were amazing for all of our print resources throughout the event. But Charles created a flip book for us to use that everybody that wanted it could take access of at no cost throughout the day. Charles, thank you. And we've embedded the link to that flip book in the digital course. So it's a resource in there, and Charles was the one that made it happen. So appreciate you, brother. And I'll be reaching out to you soon on that. Now, let's go for number 2. The second prize that we're going to do is a general admission spot to the 2026 Leadership Legacy Experience. So we don't have all the pricing in place. We know we've got to tweak some different things and so on and so forth, but we know what day it's going to be. It's going to be June 26th. I'm sorry, June 12th, 2026. It's going to be back at the Atlantic Union Bank Center at James Madison University. It's going to have at least 2 executive panels. It's going to be based around the theme of the book I just finished up about a month ago, which I think is going to be called The Values Advantage. We're still working through that. It'll be published in early 2026, but that's going to be the theme of it. It's going to really be about how are the values that you've identified the foundation for your organization? How do you use them as an advantage for everything you do? And Mark Cole's agreed to come back and be with us again for the 2026 event. So that's what the first runner-up is going to be for this photo contest, is a general admission spot that you can upgrade to VIP if you want to, but you've got a spot, general admission, based on this photo contest. So let's hit that. Mandy Blosser with New Creation. And we'll talk a little bit about Mandy and New Creation. Sabrina Dorman Andrew was on the very first panel, so she's part of what you would see in the digital course and just added so much value for that. But behind the scenes, Mandy promoted the event through their social media, through their newsletter, through so many different things. It was an absolute joy to get to know Mandy through this process, and I'm thrilled to see her come up on this. Mandy, you've got a general admission spot at the 2026 Leadership Legacy Experience. We'll be reaching out to you directly as well, and look forward to working with you and Sabrina and the entire team at New Creation. We just love the work you guys do and look forward to working with you more closely moving forward. So thanks for that. Mandy, we'll talk to you soon as well. And the grand finale, the grand prize winner for the photo contest for the 2025 Leadership Legacy Experience, you're going to get a VIP spot at the 2026 Leadership Legacy Experience, likely very, very similar to what we had this year. We still need to confirm some of the details with Mark, but we know he was ecstatic about the experience. So we feel pretty confident that he'll be willing to do a VIP breakout over lunch. Either way, we'll have some cool stuff in the VIP session that the juice will be worth the squeeze. It will likely be in the $400 range. And quite frankly, it's a huge value for that. We plan to do another digital game plan and build some things into it that's very, very special for you. But that's what the grand prize winner is going to get. And here we go. Boom. Jim Saunders with Mercal Inc. So if you don't know Jim was on our third panel for the day. And Jim, I'll be reaching out to you soon as well. Matter of fact, we've got a call scheduled already to debrief about the event. Jim was on the panel. Jim came in from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Jim's the general manager and vice president of Mercal. They serve a very specific niche market in a very, very broad but critical industry for what we do. Fantastic person. We appreciate that friendship and look forward to that. So Jim, look forward to chatting with you more. You've got your VIP spot confirmed, assuming you're willing to come back with us, but you've been with us at our events the last 2 years. So I'm guessing there's a realistic chance that you'll be with us for 2026 as well. So that concludes the drawings But we would love for anybody that's got pictures to email us those. It just helps us capture and share. Here's what the experience was. Here's what we're working to do for the community, for the region, the Mid-Atlantic region that we're working to serve, to create an experience that helps them lead their teams and capture a measurable result. Cindy, is there anything else you'd like to share before we close this up?
Just a thank you to everyone who spent an entire day of their life with us, investing in themselves and honing their skills alongside us. It was amazing having you there, and especially part of our inaugural, even though it's our 11th year of leadership development experience for a full day, it was our 10-year anniversary and our inaugural time at the Atlantic Union Bank Center. Thank you very much.
Indeed. Now, wherever you're seeing this, I've in the text, not in the comments, but in the actual text, I've plugged a little bit about the Executive Summit event that we're going to be doing on October 17th that really leads into the 2026 Leadership Legacy experience. On that day, it will be focused on mid-level, senior managers, executives, and owners, capped at 125, but about 25 spots are already spoken for between our Impact Leadership Academy, our Executive Leadership Elite think tank, both public and corporate groups that we're working with. So there's about 100 seats publicly available. They're on early bird right now. They go up, I think, at the end of July to general admission, but when 100's sold, it's done. That's all we've got available. We won't fit anymore. And it's going to be a really cool day around 3 specific things that we can do to make sure the values in our organization are there. We're going to be walking out the real framework for how the rubber meets the road, and we're going to build a lot of strategic interaction, roundtable discussions between your peers that are with you in those groups. So that's at our L2L-Harrisonburg.com. That's in the text that wherever you're seeing this. Look forward to having those of you with us that can make the cut for that first 100. But again, I'll stress mid-level manager, senior manager, executive, and owners, really who it's targeted. If you're a new supervisor, we love you. Probably a little bit more than what you're going to be able to take in that day. That's not necessarily the thing. We'll work through it. If you've got questions, reach out to us directly. Love to be able to work through it and make sure it's the right fit. It will be a huge home run for the folks involved because it's really building off something that we've done for the last 5 or 6 years on a smaller level that we can do this way at scale. So we appreciate you joining us for this. More importantly, we appreciate you trusting us and just doing whatever it is to lead your team more effectively. Make it a great day, and God bless.